Stop the world for 1 minute because the sheer magnitude of second-hand embarrassment we are currently enduring has officially hit national crisis proportions. Listen closely. Do you hear that? That is the sound of the entire internet gasping in unison as the most expensive fumble in modern romance history finally crashes down with a deafening thud. Did the air in Hollywood turn 10 times colder the exact moment Michael B. Jordan was called to that Oscar stage? We are witnessing a total shift in the space-time continuum. 1 minute you are the untouchable IT girl treating A-list men like seasonal accessories, and the next you are watching your ex-boyfriend achieve legendary status while you trend for every wrong reason. But wait, it gets messier than a simple win. Have you seen Future lurking in the shadows? Have you heard the whispers about SteveHarvey reportedly losing his mind behind closed doors? We are diving headfirst into a scandal so toxic and incredibly public that it makes a soap opera look like a bedtime story. Why is Future surfacing to drag LoriHarvey through the mud after years of silence? Is SteveHarvey really desperate enough to beg for the return of Michael B. Jordan to the family? We are breaking down the leaked texts, the high-stakes ego trips, and the shocking fallout that has the Harvey household in a total tailspin. Strap in, because the prize was just reclaimed and this fumble is officially the headline of the year. Are you ready to see how the elite play when the stakes are this high? Stay tuned because this is about to get ugly. The silence from the Harvey camp is currently louder than a stadium during a championship game. You have to wonder if they even noticed the storm brewing until it was already over their heads. We are entering the most chaotic era of celebrity fallout because this is no longer just a breakup. It is the total destruction of a brand built on the idea of being the ultimate prize. For years the narrative was that LoriHarvey could not be caught moving through the industry with a cold precision that left powerful men looking like lost puppies. But the script flipped so hard it left the internet dizzy. When Michael B. Jordan walked onto that stage holding that Oscar, it was not just a career win. It was the final closing of a chapter that many believe LoriHarvey thought she still held the bookmark in. The scandal is not just the success of an ex but the reported internal meltdown within the Harvey household as sources leak that tension between SteveHarvey and his daughter has reached a breaking point. Imagine being the king of relationship advice and having the most public example of a failed connection sitting across your dinner table while the man you publicly vouched for becomes the biggest star on the planet. The investigative findings from the inner circles of Atlanta and Hollywood paint a picture of a family in a state of emergency. We have reports from insiders claiming SteveHarvey has been privately fuming since the nominations were announced because he saw the writing on the wall. Word on the street is that SteveHarvey did not just like Michael B. Jordan, he viewed him as the final evolution of the men his daughter should date. Now that he is an Oscar winner, SteveHarvey reportedly feels the family lost their seat at the highest table in the world. While he mourns the loss of a son-in-law figure, Future is playing the role of the ultimate chaotic observer. Future has a long memory and he has not forgotten how the Harveys treated him. Rumors swirl that Future is laughing in private, saying LoriHarvey had standards that were nothing more than a facade to hide the fact that she cannot keep a winner. The public reaction is a mix of pure comedy and deep analysis of Hollywood power moves. People are calling this the most expensive mistake since the invention of the internet because the optics are truly that bad. You have one of the world's most beautiful women who made it her personality to leave first, and now she is framed as the one left behind in the dust of a legacy. Sarcasm across social media is hitting an all-time high, with fans pointing out that Michael B. Jordan did not just level up, he transcended the game. They are asking where the standards are now that the man she supposedly found too focused or boring is now the most sought-after actor in the industry. It is a classic case of thinking you are the main character only to realize the show went on without you and actually got better ratings after you were written out. But let's get into the investigative meat, because what is happening behind closed doors is allegedly much more sinister than hurt feelings. We are hearing about frantic meetings between brand managers and publicists trying to pivot the image of LoriHarvey before she becomes a permanent meme of regret. There is talk of lavish spending on new PR campaigns to link her to bigger names just to distract from the shadow of Michael B. Jordan. But the problem is that few names are bigger than an Oscar-winning lead actor right now. The corruption of the IT girl narrative is real and the fans are smelling blood in the water. The internet is currently mining every past interview and subtle jab at the niceness of Michael B. Jordan to use as a weapon of mass embarrassment. Rumors are exploding that LoriHarvey tried reaching out through a mutual contact to clear the air before the Oscars even started because her team smelled a win coming. If these reports are true, it reveals a level of calculation that is terrifying. Imagine trying to grab a front row seat to someone's glory after walking out on them while they were still grinding for it. This level of audacity has social media in a chokehold, and the Fumble Queen title is sticking to her like glue. Where does Future fit in? Sources claim he is sending cryptic messages to mutual friends asking if the Harveys need a loan since they lost their biggest investment. It is the type of high-level pettiness only Future can provide, making this situation 10 times more explosive. Controversy is deepening as people question if the 2022 breakup was a strategic move that backfired. Did LoriHarvey think he would chase her? Did she expect her absence to make his heart grow fonder? Instead, MichaelBJordan channeled that heartbreak into an Oscar-winning performance, and the only thing fond now is his memory of freedom. The sarcasm is not just coming from fans but from the industry itself. Producers and directors who once viewed LoriHarvey as the ultimate accessory now see MichaelBJordan as the ultimate leading man, and the relevance gap is widening by the second. The situation with SteveHarvey is reportedly the most dramatic part of this saga. Investigative insiders claim SteveHarvey is giving his daughter lectures that sound more like a disappointed coach's locker room talk. SteveHarvey has always pushed that man-of-the-house energy, and seeing MichaelBJordan succeed while his daughter is dragged for her dating choices is hitting his ego where it hurts. Some even claim SteveHarvey tried to bypass his daughter entirely to message the mother of MichaelBJordan just to keep her foot in the door. If that is not the definition of a mess, nothing is. You have a legendary comedian potentially begging for the attention of a man his daughter dumped. Public reactions are getting more creative by the hour, with thousands of comments claiming LoriHarvey is now standardless for choosing the streets over the stage. The humor is dark because it highlights the collective fear of trading a gold bar for copper. Future is allegedly loving every second seen, liking posts mocking the predicament of the Harvey family. He is the ghost of Christmas past, haunting them while they are most vulnerable. This is a spectacle of massive proportions, and we are only in the first act. There is even a whisper of a financial crisis within the LoriHarvey brand. When your associations look like downgrades, your market value as a trendsetter takes a dive. Sponsors are looking at engagement numbers and realizing the sentiment has shifted from admiration to mockery. That lavish lifestyle now feels like a hollow attempt to stay relevant while an ex makes history. Investigative reports suggest a frantic search for a new Michael, but the industry knows there is only one MichaelBJordan, and he is busy celebrating with those who never doubted him. The level of power abuse within PR circles trying to scrub this narrative is insane. They are reportedly trying to plant stories about MichaelBJordan being difficult, but the public is not buying it. His Oscar win is a shield of armor no tabloid can pierce. He is the golden boy, and LoriHarvey let the gold slip through her fingers. The irony is thick enough to cut with a knife. A woman who literally wrote the book on dating is being schooled by the man she thought she was teaching a lesson. The tension is building toward a moment where someone must speak out. Whether it is a statement from her team or a post from Marjorie Harvey, the world is waiting. But how do you defend against an Oscar? How do you fight the fact that your ex peaked the moment he stopped being your boyfriend? These rhetorical questions are writing themselves, and the answers point toward a total disaster for the Harvey brand. Future is just the icing on the cake, making sure the fire burns until nothing is left but ash. Every detail of this scandal is being picked apart, and the findings are consistent. The Harveys are in trouble and the brand is shaking. The prize has been devalued while the suitor became the king. This is the most shocking fall from grace we have seen in years. The scariest part for LoriHarvey is that MichaelBJordan has not even said a single word yet. His silence is the ultimate weapon in this war, leaving her with zero defense. The investigative depth of this fallout reaches into the very bank accounts of the Harvey empire. We are looking at reports that suggest SteveHarvey is personally intervening in his daughter's career moves to prevent a total blackout in Hollywood. The sheer corruption of the narrative is becoming impossible to hide as more insiders step forward with stories of Steve fuming in his dressing room. It is reported that he actually threw a script across the room when he saw Michael's name at the top of the A-list call sheets. The level of frustration in that household is unmatched because they are used to being the ones who dictate who is relevant. Now they are on the outside looking in, and the door is not just closed, it is deadbolt. Anonymous reports suggest that Lori has tried to pivot her content to be more high fashion and less dating focused, but the comments are a war zone. The public is not letting her forget that she traded the Man of the Year for a series of seasonal rebounds. The humor used to be on her side, but now the sarcasm is a blade that cuts through every filtered photo. We are seeing a total rejection of the IT girl status by the very fans who created it. This is the danger of building a brand on being untouchable, because once you are touched by a public failure, there is no going back. The investigation continues to uncover more frantic emails from her management team to major fashion houses begging for front row seats that are now being given to Michael's new inner circle. The power shift is absolute, and the consequences are just beginning to surface. We are hearing about internal probes within her own company regarding how they handled the breakup announcement years ago. Some believe they tried to smear Michael as boring to protect her image, but that backfired when the world realized boring meant focused. Now that focus has earned him the highest honor in film, and her team is left holding a bag of outdated PR strategies. The corruption of their influence is being exposed as the public realizes how much effort went into making Lori look like the winner of that breakup. But you cannot fake an Oscar, and you cannot fake the way the world looks at a champion. The Harvey household is reportedly in a state of mourning for a reputation they can no longer maintain. SteveHarvey is reportedly demanding that his publicists find a way to spin this as a win for the family, but even the best spin doctor cannot fix a fumble of this magnitude. We are looking at a total collapse of the dating expert persona because the reality is too loud to ignore. Future continues to stir the pot by posting old photos of himself with captions that mock the idea of standards. He is effectively devaluing the very pedestal Lori sits on, and the internet is cheering him on. The irony of the situation is that the man they called a suitor is now the one they are pleading with for a single glance. This concludes the first major segment of our investigation into the most public brand collapse of the decade. The layers of desperation are thin, and the truth is leaking out through every crack in the foundation. We are seeing a family that once ruled the conversation now struggling to even be part of it. The Oscar win was the trigger, but the years of calculated moves are what created the explosion. MichaelBJordan is the king of the world, and the Harveys are just the people who used to know him. The fallout is massive, the consequences are permanent, and the drama is only getting started. We are moving directly into the secret meetings and the specific demands that have been reported from the Harvey estate as they try to claw their way back to relevance. The fallout from his Oscar win has evolved beyond memes into a level of behind-the-scenes desperation that makes a political thriller look like a bedtime story. According to deep-level insiders embedded in Hollywood, the Harvey family has entered a state of absolute panic masked by curated Instagram stories. We are hearing reports of emergency meetings at the Harvey estate where the agenda was not just saving the image of LoriHarvey but bridging the gap back to the man whose stock now surpasses everyone else in the industry. Word on the street is that SteveHarvey is leading this charge, and his demands to get MichaelBJordan back into their circle are becoming undeniably frantic. Leaked reports from assistants claim the household atmosphere has shifted from confident to defensive as the weight of this success presses down on them. Sources suggest SteveHarvey is allegedly calling industry power players to hunt down Michael's private schedule under the guise of being a concerned father figure. But the streets know the truth. This is not a congratulatory call. It is a strategic attempt to realign the Harvey brand with the most successful actor of his generation. The irony is thick enough to choke on, considering the old narrative suggested MichaelBJordan was the lucky one. Now the Harveys are the ones begging for a seat at his table. Lavish spending on PR cleanup has reached astronomical levels as they try to distract the public from the fumble narrative taking over the internet. Investigative findings indicate thousands are being funneled into bot accounts to push stories of LoriHarvey being unbothered, but the public reaction tells a different story. Every time she posts, her luxury lifestyle comments flood with questions about why she was missing from the Oscar after-parties, or why she isn't with the man who was once by her side. This abuse of power is evident as outlets are pressured to bury stories about her reaching out to him. Rumors of secret messages have taken on a life of their own, with sources claiming MichaelBJordan has left her on red for weeks. Imagine the psychological toll of being the woman everyone wants only to be ignored by the one man who actually won the game. Investigative reports suggest LoriHarvey is feeling the heat from her own inner circle, who realize the IT girl era has hit a ceiling. People are finally seeing the cracks in the foundation that Marjorie Harvey and her daughter spent years constructing. Anonymous sources close to the camp of Michael B. Jordan hint that the actor finds these reconnect ion attempts more entertaining than annoying. Reports say he has instructed his team to block any communication not related to professional business, effectively shutting the door on friendly check-ins from SteveHarvey. This cold shoulder is reportedly driving the comedian to the edge of his patience. Sources claim he was overheard saying that Michael B. Jordan owes him for the platform provided during their relationship. The sarcasm here is that his talent was always there, and now that he has the hardware to prove it, he owes them nothing. Public reactions to these leaks are a mix of shock and told-you-so energy. The internet is dissecting the past behavior of the Harvey family, pointing out how they distanced themselves during the rough patches but now want a piece of the shine. The humor here comes from fans creating missing person posters for the relevance of LoriHarvey. While Michael B. Jordan graces every major magazine cover as the new king of Hollywood, investigative eyes are watching every move and refusing to let the Harveys off the hook. The scandal deepens with reports of the involvement of Future, who has allegedly been spotted at clubs near her circle making loud jokes about fumbling a diamond. This is a direct shot at rumors that Michael B. Jordan was ready to propose while she was more interested in the lifestyle. Investigative findings suggest Future is contacting her other exes to form a survivors club to laugh at the state of the Harvey brand. This level of toxicity is making the fallout 100 times more viral. Reports also hint at a financial fallout for the family if the narrative does not shift soon. The LoriHarvey effect once turned everything to gold, but now the association brings more scrutiny than sales. Major brands are reportedly pausing contracts to see if she can survive the fumble queen era. Investigative reports suggest her social media engagement has shifted from aspirational to confrontational, with users calling out the delusion of her posts. It is a massive blow to a brand that relies on being the most desirable person in the room. The controversy surrounding her current associations is also heating up as reports suggest the pressure of being the rebound is becoming too much for anyone to handle. Whispers say her current circle is tired of being compared to Michael B. Jordan and has had intense conversations about why the family is still chasing an ex. If true, the drama is rotting her current social standing from the inside out. Findings show that people are trying to distance themselves to protect their own careers, as being linked to the Harveys right now is like being tied to a sinking ship in an Oscar-sized storm. As the fallout continues, more sources claim she looks distraught at private events when the name of Michael B. Jordan is mentioned, despite her fake attitude. In Hollywood, if you have to tell people you do not care, you probably care the most. Investigative reports suggest LoriHarvey is trapped in a PR nightmare. Her own making. She built a brand on moving on, but the Oscar win of Michael B. Jordan proves his life got significantly better without her. The public reaction to the demands of SteveHarvey has been savage. Fans are calling him desperate and opportunistic, reminding him how he stayed quiet when the breakup got messy. Findings suggest SteveHarvey is worried his legacy is tied to a daughter whose primary claim to fame is a string of breakups where the man does better afterward. The Harveys are losing in the court of public opinion, and the evidence is overwhelming. Independent investigators are even documenting how the Harvey PR machine is deleting negative comments by the thousands. This attempt to curate a perfect image is only fueling the fire. It is a classic case where trying to bury the fumble makes it the only thing anyone wants to discuss. Investigative findings also show a shift in how Michael B. Jordan is handling his team. He has reportedly hired high-level security to ensure he does not accidentally run into the family at industry events. This shows he is actively protecting his peace from a family he views as a distraction to his legendary status. The sarcasm is that he used to try to fit into their world, and now he pays people to keep them out of his. Tension is reaching a boiling point as the next awards season approaches. Every red carpet is a minefield for her and a victory lap for him. Reports suggest her team is booking international events just to avoid being in the same zip code as Michael B. Jordan because the comparison is too painful for the brand. But you cannot run from the internet, which is currently obsessed with the win of Michael B. Jordan. Michael B. Jordan is now an Oscar winner, while LoriHarvey has been reduced to just another ex-girlfriend in the eyes of the digital masses. Public reactions are pouring in as people question the advice she has been receiving from her mother, Marjorie Harvey. Investigative findings suggest Marjorie Harvey has been the architect of this dating strategy for years, but the Oscar fumble proves the strategy has a major flaw. It fails to account for what happens when the man you leave becomes the most powerful person in the room. The sarcasm is that the pedestal LoriHarvey was taught to sit on is looking lonely now that the person meant to worship it is being worshipped by the entire world. This breakdown shows the Harveys are in a desperate fight for relevance. The fumble is no longer just a meme, it is a fundamental shift in public perception. From the reported demands of SteveHarvey to secret messages and the petty commentary of Future, the situation is a five-star disaster. We are looking at a total collapse of the influence they once wielded over the culture. The corruption of their PR tactics is being laid bare as former associates begin to leak the truth about the frantic nature of their current operations. Every email and every phone call made by SteveHarvey to Michael's representation is being tracked by those who want to see the old guard fall. The level of desperation has reached a point where they are allegedly offering to host events for free just to be in the same room as the new Hollywood elite. But the gatekeepers have changed and the name Harvey no longer opens the doors it once did. The investigation has uncovered that even the social media algorithms have turned against them as the sentiment analysis shows a massive shift toward Michael's narrative of hard work and success. The Harveys are being left behind in a digital era that values authenticity over curation. This part of the scandal highlights the fragility of a brand built on looks and associations rather than substance. When the substance walks away with an Oscar, all you are left with is a hollow shell and a father trying to buy back the glory. We are seeing the slow-motion car crash of a Hollywood dynasty, and the debris is hitting everyone involved. The public is not just watching, they are participating in the dismantling of the IT girl myth. The humor is biting and the controversy is deep because it reflects a universal truth about regret. You cannot treat people like accessories and then expect them to be your savior when your own light starts to dim. MichaelBJordan has found his light and it is blindingly bright, leaving the Harveys in the shadows of what could have been. The report ends here for this segment, but the corruption and the fallout go much deeper. We are about to look at the potential legal probes and the financial collapse that could be the final nail in the coffin. The Harvey household is a house of cards and the wind of Michael's success is blowing harder than ever. Stay tuned for the final breakdown of this national crisis in celebrity culture as we move into the final stage of the total destruction of the Harvey brand. The consequences of this spectacle are moving from social media gossip into a full-scale institutional crisis for the Harvey empire. Investigative reports indicate the success of MichaelBJordan is triggering hypothetical probes into the business side of the Harvey brand. Insiders whisper about a financial crisis as sponsors question the viability of an IT girl brand defined by the most public fumble in history. There is talk of brands pulling multi-million-dollar deals because sentiment analysis shows the public no longer views the name with admiration but with ironic detachment. Investigative findings suggest that without a narrative flip, we are looking at a massive economic downturn for the family ventures. Public backlash has reached a point where people are calling for a boycott of the pedestal. Sarcasm across the internet is turning into a serious critique of the dating advice pushed by LoriHarvey and her daughter. Fans point out the hypocrisy of a brand that preaches never settling while missing out on the biggest winner in the industry. This is tanking the family media ratings as the public focuses on the MichaelBJordan victory tour. Tension is so high that some predict a hypothetical resignation of the Harvey family from their positions as royalty in Black Hollywood. Legal probes into the PR tactics used by the Harvey camp are heating up. We have reports of internal investigations within talent agencies regarding aggressive methods used to silence the MichaelBJordan narrative. Investigative sources claim the team tried to leverage influence to get journalists fired for reporting on secret messages sent to the A. If these claims of an abuse of power are proven, it could lead to a total blackballing of the Harvey brand. The industry is tired of the games and is finally siding with the man who won the gold. The fallout is hitting their social circle, with high-profile friends distancing themselves to avoid the crossfire. Legendary figures are now reportedly too busy to take the calls of SteveHarvey as he continues his desperate demands. The isolation is visible. The Harveys were conspicuously absent from major Oscar after-parties where MichaelBJordan was the guest of honor. It is a chilling reminder of how fast you can go from being the host to being the ghost. Investigative findings suggest Future might have the final word in the saga. Rumors circulate that Future is planning a satirical documentary-style music video breaking down the Harvey dating history. This project is designed to be the final nail in the coffin for the prize narrative. While his camp hasn't confirmed the details, the mere threat has reportedly sent the legal team of LoriHarvey into a frenzy to block the use of her likeness. The controversy is reaching a breaking point where entertainment and personal warfare blur into one messy reality. Even more shocking is the report that MichaelBJordan has been offered a massive deal for a tell-all book including a chapter on distractions. While he hasn't signed yet, the Harvey camp is terrified of what he might say if he breaks his silence. He has the ultimate leverage now, and every time SteveHarvey demands his attention, it only gives him more power to ignore them. The irony is that the man they tried to humble now holds their entire reputation in his hands. The tension is building toward a massive public confrontation that cannot be avoided. Investigative reports suggest the Harveys are in bunker mode, attempting to outlast the storm. But it only grows stronger as MichaelBJordan racks up more wins and accolades. The public reaction is clear: they want the underdog to win. And in this story, he is the underdog who became the ultimate king. The consequences for the brand of LoriHarvey are looking increasingly permanent. You cannot buy your way out of a fumble narrative when it is tied to an Oscar. Findings show her marketability as a trendsetter is at an all-time low because the trend she represents is regret. Sarcastic comments about her needing to update her standards are everywhere, and the humor is becoming a heavy burden for a woman who prides herself on being untouchable. Reports even suggest she is considering a long-term move to Europe just to escape the relentless American media coverage. As we witness this potential financial crisis and loss of influence, it is clear the Harvey era is facing its greatest challenge yet. This is not just about a guy and a girl, it is the total collapse of a celebrity myth. Investigative findings show the public is rewriting the Marjorie Harvey clauses and the Harvey rules in real time, and the new version does not favor the family. The corruption of the narrative has been exposed like a tidal wave. The fallout has even reached the philanthropic arms of the Harvey empire, with donors questioning associations with a family mired in such toxic scandal. Reports suggest charity events are being postponed because organizers do not want the fumble drama to overshadow the cause. It is a total disaster affecting bank accounts and red carpets alike. The public reaction remains one of fascination and mockery, with people creating fumble charts comparing her dating history to the career trajectories of her exes. Investigative findings show that nearly every man she dates sees a massive career boost after the breakup, turning the LoriHarvey luck theory into a global fact. MichaelBJordan did not just get a boost, he became a legend, a pill the Harveys reportedly cannot swallow. Reports into the mental state of SteveHarvey are concerning, as sources say he is obsessed with fixing the situation. He is reportedly short with staff and distracted during tapings because he is constantly checking his phone for updates on the movements of MichaelBJordan. Using professional time to chase a man who does not want to be found is a testament to how deep this scandal has cut into his ego. The findings show a family in retreat. The fumble is the final word on the era, and MichaelBJordan got the last laugh without ever opening his mouth. Sarcasm and controversy have blended into one singular truth that the world now accepts. MichaelBJordan is the prize, and the Harveys are currently looking for a consolation trophy. The fallout is real, and the consequences are devastating as the world watches the final collapse of a Hollywood dynasty. This situation serves as a warning to the industry that you cannot play with someone's legacy and expect to win in the long run. The Oscar fumble is officially the biggest breaking news of the year, leaving the Harveys holding the bag of regret while the winner takes it all. The success of MichaelBJordan has exposed the cracks in the Harvey empire that were always there, hidden under the surface. The dragging from Future and the demands of SteveHarvey are just symptoms of a much larger disease of irrelevance. The prize has moved on and took the spotlight with him, leaving the family in the dark. Investigative reports suggest that the family is trying to buy up web domains and scrub search results to hide the word fumble, but the internet never forgets a fall this high. Sources within the Hollywood elite claim that the Harveys are being quietly removed from exclusive guest lists because their presence now brings a cloud of drama that A-listers want to avoid. The shift in power is so absolute that even their longtime allies are starting to leak information to the press to save their own skins. The corruption of their influence was built on a foundation of being the coolest people in the room, but now they are the most scrutinized. This investigation has shown that when you build an empire on a narrative, you better make sure that narrative is bulletproof. The MichaelBJordan Oscar win was the bullet that shattered the Harvey glass house. We are seeing a total destruction of a brand that once seemed invincible. Every detail of this investigation points to a family that thought they could dictate the terms of. Realize that true talent dictates itself. The public is no longer buying the curated perfection, and the Harveys are left with nothing but the reality of their own mistakes. The fallout is permanent, and the consequences are just beginning to be felt across the entire entertainment landscape. This concludes our deep dive into the total collapse of the Harvey brand following the Oscar win of MichaelBJordan. From the secret pleas of SteveHarvey to the relentless mockery from Future, the truth has been exposed for all to see. The IT girl era is over, and the era of the champion has begun. MichaelBJordan is standing on the mountain top, and he is not looking back at the people who doubted his focus. The Harvey empire is in ruins, and the world is moving on to the next headline, while they are left behind in the dust of the most expensive fumble in history. As we close this investigation, remember that in Hollywood, the only thing more dangerous than a breakup is a breakup with a winner. The Harveys learned this lesson the hard way, and the price was their entire legacy. The findings are clear, and the verdict is in. MichaelBJordan is the king, and the Harveys are just another chapter in his book of success. The scandal has reached its peak, and the fallout is a warning to every celebrity trying to manage a narrative that isn't their own. The truth always wins in the end, and today the truth is holding a gold statue. The silence from MichaelBJordan remains the loudest statement of the decade, but the noise coming from the Harvey camp is impossible to ignore. We have laid out the secret meetings and the desperate demands of a family watching their empire crumble in real time. The prize has officially been reclaimed, and the crown has never looked heavier on the head of an Oscar winner who chose himself over the drama. Is this the final end of the LoriHarvey IT girl era, or can she actually pivot from being the fumble queen back into the spotlight? Has SteveHarvey officially lost his touch as the master of relationships by begging for the attention of a man his daughter let go? We want to hear from you, because the internet is currently the judge and the jury in this trial of legacy versus lifestyle. Drop your most savage theories in the comments, and let us know if MichaelBJordan should ever look back or keep that door locked forever. Was Future right all along about the Harvey standards being a facade, or is this just a classic case of bad timing backfiring on a global stage? The conversation is just getting started, and your voice is the most important part of this investigation. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and see the secret footage from the next major Hollywood event, smash that like button and subscribe right now. We are digging deeper into the financial fallout and the new leading lady in Michael's life that is reportedly driving the Harveys to the edge of insanity. Stay tuned and stay skeptical, because the truth is always messier than the headline.